They are looking for a return to the Football League. Oxford United are looking to return after just 12 months. Morecambe, at least tonight, can put their feet up. Get ready to climb aboard the roller coaster. It's a season of highs and a few lows. It's either going to gather momentum or come shuddering to a halt. Don't forget extra time and maybe penalties should the scores be level after 90 minutes. Away goals do not count double in these conference playoffs. Wembley, the immediate prize. The big jackpot, though, is a return to the Football League. And it's Oxford who are applying a little bit of pressure, Clive.
Yeah, they've started quite brightly, haven't they? As we always see with Udabadi there, the quick player for Oxford United up front who get in behind as often as possible. Manager Jim Smith sat up in the stand in the early stages, and keeping an eye on his players, I'm sure. And it's good to be able to use that Udabadi pace that they've got just to push Exeter back if they're trying to sort of impose themselves on the Oxford United team in the early stages of this game.
There's Yemi Udabadi, who recovered from a thigh injury towards the end of the regular season to take his place in the starting lineup of that game at St James Park on Friday evening. Oxford ahead by a goal to nil, and Exeter here changing their front two. John Challoner, who's normally a midfielder, pushed up front alongside Lee Phillips, who was Exeter's top scorer last season. He's a big favourite with the Exeter supporters. No place for either Logan or Stansfield, who was successful at the end of last season with Hereford United. It's Lee Phillips on the ball. Carlisle. Out by Anaclet. Back in again by Edwards.
Interesting to see Lee Phillips getting involved straight away as well. He's going to be a big player this evening.
Udabadi. He's got around the goalkeeper. And the ball has gone out for a goal kick. Well, there were shades of Morecambe yesterday, Clive, when York City were awarded an early penalty.
That was a little bit of deja vu almost, wasn't it? Udabadi using his pace to get in behind. Rob Edwards wasn't sure. I think you have to say Billy Turley came honestly for the ball here. Didn't come out there. We see the foot up, and you'd have to say that's a high challenge by Udabadi. I don't think it was a similar one to what we saw the other day, but it was one of those challenges that you're not so sure about. Good refereeing, I think, on this occasion.
Haynes just having a look across to the far side to check with his assistant, Gary Jordan, to make sure that the goalkeeper didn't make too much contact with Udabadi before the ball had gone by. Andy Haynes quickly up with the pace.
Well, he had a bit of a decision to make early on in the game there. We saw the pace. We've seen Udabadi and his pace that he's got to get in behind, and you might question perhaps Rob Edwards as well. We talked about him when he came off injured the other day on Friday, and is he up to the 100% standard of playing this game? And you've got to say that Udabadi put him under pressure there, and he was struggling somewhat.
So they were awarded a first-half penalty at Morecambe, where they lost 2-1 eventually. Similar circumstances with a through ball, which drenched the Morecambe goalkeeper, didn't reach. That's a Donaldson. A penalty was awarded on that occasion. Hargreaves looking to introduce Burgess. I suspect that Andy Burgess will be pressed further forward in this home leg for Oxford United.
Yeah, we saw him playing that sort of wide wing-back sort of position, didn't we? He's a creative player. Definitely better going forward than defending, and I tend to feel he was somewhat wasted in Exeter, but you can understand why they had him just sitting deep. I think on this occasion, do Oxford push on to get the second goal and try and kill the tie off on aggregate, or do they sit back? Well, he could be a main factor down the left-hand side to see if he does push on.
Here's Elam. Elam has got pace. He was really cheeky to try and catch Turley off his line.
Well, again, Lee Elam, a lot was expected of him in the first leg. Didn't really get involved in the game. I think already tonight he's looked a little brighter, a little bit sharper. There we see the confidence as well. He tries the chip, doesn't quite come off for him, but he's got ability, he's got pace. I just think he needs to be more involved in the game.
One of three that Paul Tisdale signed for Exeter from Weymouth back in January. Steve Tully and Richard Logan the others. Who's been fouled.
Well, again, he's finding the position, he's finding the space, he's getting the ball into feet. That's what he needs. Just tries to turn Eddie Anaclet and get him behind him as quickly as possible.
By Taylor. Challoner with Anaclet. To wind this one up. Just waiting for Taylor to make a late run into that Oxford penalty area. It might come right the way through to Taylor. Very nervous start this by Oxford United.
Well, we said that might happen, didn't we? The expectancy is on Oxford to obviously go through being at home, and 1-0 to the good at the moment. Defensively, they've started a little bit tentative. They've sat back as well. They're a little bit deep for me. Going forward, they've looked okay, Oxford, but just at the moment, they're giving Exeter a little bit too much space.
Here's Tully. Looking for Phillips. Dispossessed by Rose, who was doing his best to claim Oxford's goal on Friday evening. Even though it took about 3 deflections before he finally bounced in off Andy Taylor's chest.
Anybody think he was a centre forward, Tony, wouldn't they? They'll claim everything. But Danny Rose, midfield player, doesn't get too many goals, and I'm sure when one does come along, he tries to claim it. But what was important is it put them in front. And you could see a yellow card here, tugging back by Matt Gill. The referee's going to let him go, just a free kick. Tried to play the advantage.
With the best defensive record in the conference, conceded just 33 goals. A magnificent start, and 18 games without defeat. Everybody was expecting them to go up as champions, but they lost a bit of their momentum after Christmas. They lost the leadership of the conference on New Year's Day when they were beaten by Exeter City at St James Park.
How many times we hear it about confidence, Tony? And that's a big part of the game. If you've got confidence, you can produce the skills and the ability that you've got. When there's no confidence, it's very, very difficult. You'd have to say down at Exeter on Friday, confidence was back with Oxford United, and they played some really good football.
Tisdale there on the right with his number 2, Paul Buckle, who's on the bench here this evening for Exeter City. Assistant manager and stroke player is actually older than the manager. It is Paul Tisdale in his first season in charge, having taken over from Alex Inglethorpe, who went on to look after the youth setup at Tottenham Hotspur. Tisdale himself is a former England youth international who began his professional career at Southampton. Alan Ball gave him his chance. Of course, Alan Ball was in charge of Exeter City for a while. His death felt in the West Country as well as on the South Coast and throughout the rest of the football community. Anaclet. Jones looking for Phillips.
I think he started brightly. Phillips obviously needs to make an impression. Would have been disappointed not to start on Friday. And he's looked good, he's looked nice and bright up front. He's got into the back 4 of Oxford United and caused them problems. He's had the balls bounced down in and around him. He's looking for Challoner as often as he can. And tactically, I have to say, Paul Tisdale, in playing him, has started a lot better, although the start wasn't too bad, but they disappeared a little bit more as the game went on Friday. But at the moment, Exeter City asking 1 or 2 questions.
And Phillips is overdue a goal. He's gone 9 without scoring. He's the winner against Stafford Rangers. news for Paul Tisdale is that of all the teams to make the playoffs, Exeter's away form was the poorest. Here's Elam. That was cleverly done. Flag is raised for an offside against Phillips. The celebrations are cut short.
This is good play by Exeter City, starting down on the right-hand side, going through midfield, through the fullback, and getting it out wide to the overlapping Billy Jones. And that's a good ball into Lee Elam, who just clipped it inside. Oh, Lee Phillips, was he offside? Very tight decision.
Lee Phillips looking accusingly across at David Belbin, and I think he's just making the point that Eddie Anaclet was on the far side of the penalty area, was probably playing him onside. Onside then, Lee Phillips. Two big decisions that we've seen so far. The officials got it right when Oxford were looking for a penalty, but they've ruled out what should have been a valid goal for Exeter and Lee Phillips.
Huge disappointment for Paul Tisdale. I think he'll be thinking that if we can start bright and get an early goal, we've got a chance, and maybe that was their opportunity to get right back into this tie.
Phillips still shaking his head.
Well, we see the ball being delivered. You see the fullback, Eddie Anaclet, leaving Lee Phillips in an onside position. That's a poor decision by the linesman on this near side. It's a good little finish though by Lee Phillips, and that's what he's capable of.
David Belbin, the assistant on this near side. His flag went up very, very quickly, almost too quickly.
Yeah, possibly. I think as well that Exeter can take heart from the way that they play some decent football, got the ball into a wide area, decent delivery in, and there was the man they want to score the goals, Lee Phillips, on hand to put it in the back of the net. They'll be disappointed when they see that after the game.
Exeter have started far brighter than they did in the home game on Friday. Much improved after half-time when they made a couple of substitutions. Hargreaves. Now Gilchrist. Ball has gone out of play.
And the fact that it's a nice open playing surface, is quite a big pitch here at Kassam Stadium. I think it's given Exeter an opportunity to use their wide players a little bit more. Wayne Carlisle and Lee Elam really didn't get into the game down at Exeter. And Paul Tisdale will be saying to his wide players, you must get in the game, we must get deliverers into the box. And so far, so good.
Exeter was squeezed into the playoffs. They came from behind to beat Southport on the final day. They've now been losing to Western and Diamonds. Made up for the last couple of seasons when they've won on the final day, but failed to make the end-of-season nerve jangler. Gill. Looking again for Phillips. Will be a corner kick.
Well, again, they're putting some decent balls in, aren't they? Sometimes they're playing them in from wide areas, then they're checking back and seeing Lee Phillips' runs are very, very good. Just runs in behind and causes problems. And at the moment, Oxford haven't dealt with him and with John Challoner, who's also making one or two good runs, not receiving the ball at the moment.
Carlisle has made a run. Carlisle was almost on the end of that.
Just needs to hold his position a little bit more there, Wayne Carlisle. I don't think it's a particularly good ball into the box, hanging in the air. And we see Carlisle trying to get in closer to goal, and then he realises it's over his head. I think if he just holds his position a little bit better, a couple of yards further out, he's then got a free header. As Chris Hargreaves is struggling to get anything on it.
Carlisle was had a troubled 12 months or so. He broke a leg towards the end of last season, and then just as he was about to return to full fitness, he needed an appendicitis operation. Martin Foster to release Uda Beatty. It's come out to Burgess. Dispossessed by Carlisle. Here's Tully. Chris was doing recovery.
Yeah, Zabrowski in an offside position, just coming back. Again, we talked about Andy Burgess. We said about him playing as a wing-back, or does he play as a full-back this evening? You know, we see him trying to support the edge of the penalty area, and he's off the pace. I think he needs to be another 5 yards further forward, and maybe had an opportunity to take this shot on first time.
Burgess is complaining that he's being leaned on by Carlisle, but Exeter have the corner kick.
You've got to say there's a possibility maybe of a hand on the back, but Carlisle's eye perfectly on the ball.
He's given Exeter another opportunity to get Todd and Edwards forward. Zabrowski was able to get that clear.
That's a good header. That's a good defensive header. Important he gets to this very, very quickly, Zabrowski. And we see the corner coming in, Zabrowski. Important he gets to that ball first. Rob Edwards coming in behind. And two questions being asked by Exeter City. Concentration for Oxford.
Driven in by Gill this time. Headed away by Hargreaves. Here's Billy Jones. He's been put out by Billy Turley. Goalkeeper who's never afraid to have a go at those standing in front of him, as Matt Day found out on Friday evening.
I think he had to make sure, obviously, with the cross. I think if Billy Jones puts a better ball in here, swerves it away from the goalkeeper, the Oxford United defence had pushed up quite high.
Just see him mouthing, "Talk to me then." Oxford goalkeeper not happy with the communication with those just ahead of him. There's more work for Turley to do here. It will be a further corner kick. Todd's header.
This is a better ball in. It's a good delivery to that far post. Chris Todd just peeling off to that far post area, tries to head it back across, deflected away, good pressure.
And again by Gill, much too long this time. A couple of occasions on Friday when we saw that, when there were free kicks which drifted aimlessly out of play.
Well, there was a few times, wasn't it, from Exeter City, the quality from the balls in, not the best. I have to say the one before, though, from this near side by Billy Jones was a good delivery.
These teams have left nothing to chance in the build-up to this second leg. Both have been practicing penalties, should it come to that. And Oxford were preparing for the playoffs even before the regular season ended. They were watching all their potential opponents. They weren't expecting Challoner and Phillips to be the two up front for Exeter City this evening. Rose has gone down.
Well, this is one where I feel the linesman should, let's call him the assistant referee, if he's going to make an assist, should be looking at the play here. He's closest to it, doesn't raise his flag. Two players sliding for the ball. They're coming together of players. I didn't think it was too dangerous or too nasty. They're both going for the ball, they both miss it.
Rose looks as though he will be okay. Had a hamstring problem just before the end of the season. He was being eased through the last couple of games for Exeter, but he managed the full 90 minutes on Friday evening.
I'm just wondering what the referee's actually given here, Tony, as well. The two players going together, I think he was allowing play to go on. I think he thought that Danny Rose was badly injured, so he blows the whistle. So I guess it should be a drop ball, or well, as the ball was free, no one was really in possession. It should be maybe the old-fashioned drop ball here. It looks like he's going to give the free kick against Tully.
Broski. He's still waiting to come back on, still feeling his left calf. Phillips. Now Carlisle. Here's Tully. And towards Challoner. It's come out to Phillips. It's a lovely turn by Phillips. He has made an impact already.
Yeah, he has done. He's looked bright, he's looked sharp, and then we see him just dropping off and waiting for the ball. Uses his body strength to hold off the first challenge. Takes a strike home, weaker left foot, but gets it bang on target. I think as well, we saw a couple of Oxford players both going for the same ball, Tony. A little bit of indecision there at the back.
Phillips, who scored 13 goals in the conference last season for Exeter City. Made his debut in a Plymouth team that had Bruce Grobbelaar in goal. And he's still only 26. Tisdale will be impressed by the start that his team have made here, and as one or two have been impressed with the start that he made to his senior managerial career. He was in charge of Team Bath when they reached the first round of the FA Cup before they lost to Mansfield a few years back, having joined at the first preliminary stage. He's had the chance to step up into the conference, really got the opportunity to try his luck in the Football League next season. Allowed to go on and to get the shot in. Turley at full stretch. Wonderful run and shot by Lee Elam.
That's good play, isn't he? Cuts inside well here, just doesn't get the challenge from an Oxford player, so he decides to take the shot on. Decent save by Billy Turley, but you have to say, what a good effort by Lee Elam. That's an impact that Paul Tisdale will have been looking for. They talk about the domination of Exeter City, 6 corners to none to Oxford.
Todd and Edwards both making their run. Challoner couldn't get anything on that. And by Billy Jones. Here's Martin Foster. Oxford simply can't get out of their own half. Taylor.
Just needed to keep it simple there. Taylor, opportunity with Carlisle on the right-hand side, went for the big diagonal. Maybe a little bit tight, tried to overhit it. Comes out of that play, gives Oxford United an opportunity to relieve the pressure.
Big test for the Oxford United back line. No shortage of experience in there with Quinn and Gilchrist together. Quinn, who played in the Premiership for Coventry City, and Gilchrist, who had a long spell with Leicester City. Tully. Now Taylor. Elam trying to spin away from Gilchrist. Now he's been dispossessed by Burgess.
I think he's tried to buy a free kick there, Lee Elam. Gets to the ball first, does well, but falls over quite easily. Didn't get the free kick. Here we see it again. Goes to ground very, very easily. And we see the leg come out and trip up Andy Burgess. Don't think you're going to get away with that, Lee. He's been brighter, hasn't he, today? Much brighter than he was. Had a lot more of the ball, of course, which is always important. And maybe that's where Paul Tisdale feels he can get more out of his side. Get it to the likes of Lee Elam, who's been very, very positive in these opening 24 minutes. Still not got that goal that gets him right back into the game as yet.
Elam, who's enjoyed the disappointment of defeat in the playoff semi-finals. He was with Morecambe when they were beaten by Dagenham and Redbridge back in 2003, the first year of the playoffs. Since the tension in the air. The occasion, you suspect, has got to Oxford a little bit.
Well, they haven't played yet, Oxford, have they? They haven't got the ball down and passed it like they did on Friday. I think as well, Chris Zabrowski's winning a lot of headers at the front, sorry. But Abadi at the moment hasn't really got on the end of things. And also Exeter winning the battle in midfield.
Or by Billy Jones. Couldn't make the clearance. Zabrowski. Here's Edwards. Rose. Udabadi. Keeping their passing both neat and precise, playing their way from back to front. They had to get something on that then. Foster played in the playoff semi-finals for Halifax last season.
Just having a problem finding their front men at the moment, Oxford United. Anton Foster disappointed with his ball forward. He's into no man's land. He's saying to Udabadi, you've got to get across and you've got to give more support. Get a little bit closer to Zabrowski.
Burgess steps in. Udabadi. Opportunity for him now to take on Todd. Udabadi's created the opening, and he's got the goal! Yemi Udabadi has furthered Oxford's advantage. 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate, and that after Exeter City had done so much pressing.
That's a good finish, isn't it, by Yemi Udabadi? Poor pass, a weak pass that allows Andy Burgess to step in. That's what we talk about, creativity. Gets the ball into Udabadi very, very quickly, and it's now up to the forward. To say as well, from Exeter's point of view, surely you've got to push him away from goal here. They let him come back inside onto his stronger right foot, and it just about trickles over the line. Martin Rice unlucky not to keep the ball out, just enough pace to squeeze in. Well, it's advantage for sure now, Oxford United. Not too sure about the celebrations though, Tony. But it's a good finish.
What that means to Yemi Udabadi and what it means to Oxford United in the makeup of their season. Could it be the most crucial goal? Anna Kleckner. Is there to be any response from Exeter City? They will feel perhaps that Lee Phillips should have had a goal. Ruled out for an offside when he was clearly onside, and now Oxford United have extended their aggregate lead. Yemi Udabadi, who joined Oxford midway through last season after he'd impressed for Eastbourne Borough. And he's impressed this season, certainly impressed Jim Smith. He said he went through a time when he simply couldn't score goals, but we've seen him score a couple, two crackers in that game against Dagenham and Redbridge.
We have, and when he's got his confidence again. We talk about forwards and confidence and taking opportunities when they come along. Well, a confident striker will tell you that he can put it in the back of the net more often than he misses. Udabadi has done that at times, perhaps only done it for 45 minutes, Tony, but he's got that pace, hasn't he? The one thing that defenders don't like is the pace.
The Oxford fans are singing already. We're on our way to Wembley. Bit premature maybe with an hour left.
Well, a long way to go yet. I'm sure if Exeter City can keep their finger on the pulse as they have been for the opening 27-28 minutes and not let the goal worry them too much, then they've got plenty of time to get back into it.
Zabrowski. By Todd. Martin Foster in quickly. Here's Quinn. Given away by Burgess. Gilchrist looking again for Udabadi. Udabadi's pace is always likely to cause this Exeter defence a problem or two. Went through on goal early on when confronted by Martin Rice, the Exeter goalkeeper. Then the pass from Burgess was inch perfect, and he created the opening for himself. What about the goalkeeper, Martin Rice? Wrong-footed a little bit when it would...
Yeah, slightly wrong-footed. I think I put it down to the two central defenders though. Rob Edwards has come flying over, and I think when you've got 2 against 1, you've got to push him away from goal, Tony. You've got to know players, know where their strengths are. Udabadi, strong on his right foot, not so strong on his left, and he's on the left-hand side. The only way he's going to go is to check back onto his right foot. Robert Edwards has come flying over, really just should have forced him onto his left foot, make him take the strike on. That gives Martin Rice a better opportunity of making the save.
Rob Edwards, who played for Preston North End when they lost a playoff final against Bolton at the Millennium Stadium. Then the decision has gone against Phillips.
Here we see Udabadi picking up the ball. This is for the goal. Good pace, but there you see him check back inside. Just opens up the goal. Was there even a slight deflection there? But he's only got one thing on his mind here, is to open up the goal and take the strike on. I think he'd be a little bit disappointed, Martin Rice, but he'd be disappointed with his 2 central defenders who allowed Udabadi the space.
So many highs and lows endured by those Oxford United supporters in the last 18 months or so. Nick Merry coming in as chairman and owner back in March of last year, appointing Jim Smith as manager again. Relegation on the final day of last season. Could they be on their way to Wembley? Could they be on their way to a return to the Football League? Morecambe waiting for the winners. Lucky to get away with that. Misunderstanding between Day and Gilchrist.
That's not the first time we've seen it, is it? Back 3 of Oxford United are not coordinated at the moment. 2 players going for the same ball. That's the second time it's happened.
Filled in by Jones. Phillips. Far more movement in attack from Exeter this evening. Stumbled by Foster, but pass has found Hargreaves and now Rose.
He's just trying to bend his run there, Udabadi, and stay on side. He's managed it this time as Exeter back 4, push up a little bit higher up the park, but obviously the ball was a little bit straight.
Youthful and energetic front 2 for Oxford. Udabadi, who's 22, and Zabrowski, 20. Neither with a huge amount of experience.
No, what they do, they make up with in pace and endeavour. We saw in the first leg, Zabrowski was harder working for me of the front 2, but Udabadi always dangerous. Lots and lots of pace for both of them.
Well, on Wednesday at 7:30 on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports HD1, the Guard of Honour at Stamford Bridge, the 2007 Premiership champions against Chelsea. And then a UEFA Cup place still at stake. On Thursday at 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports HD1, it's Tottenham against Blackburn Rovers. That's Thursday at 7:30. Carlisle. And by Gill. Zabrowski managed to get the flick on. Two players just losing their footing. The pitch has been watered heavily before kick-off. So Eddie Anaclet came over to this near side when Danny Rose was receiving attention to change his boots.
I must say as well though, Tony, it's a good playing surface, a little bit slippery perhaps, but the players should be used to that.
Udabadi gives chase. He's got there ahead of Edwards. Managed to get beyond Edwards. It will be a corner kick.
Was a nice smile, isn't it, by Yemi Udabedi? Tremendous pace down the left-hand side. You'd have to say that Rob Edwards was favourite when the ball was first played. A good credit to the centre-back there. Gets a foot in just at the last minute.
Day and Quinn have both gone for. Udabedi almost on the goal line with Burgess. It's come to Zabrowski. It's come out to Danny Rose, who couldn't do tonight what he did on Friday evening. Barry Quinn with the first attempt.
Yeah, there's a decent header at the far post, isn't it? Just to knock it back in. Here we see the header by Hargreaves, just pops it down into the box. Tremendous block by Chris Todd. And Danny Rose in the end gets underneath the ball. It's a poor effort.
Danny Rose is on loan from Manchester United, 19 years of age. He was captain of Manchester United's reserve team, but Sir Alex Ferguson got a phone call from Jim Smith and said, can you recommend me a midfielder who will do me a job until the end of the season? A good experience for Rose as well.
It is good experience, and certainly sometimes these players need this sort of level of football, whether it be League 1, 2 or even the Conference. Not a lot between those leagues, and you get to learn a little bit more about the nitty-gritty of the game as opposed to playing reserve team football at Premier League level, Tony. I'm sure he's learned a lot this season.
Also on loan from Millwall at the moment, but missing for the playoffs, Mickey Corcoran, who was signed on a 3-month loan from Cardiff City, the Northern Ireland under-21 international defender. His loan ended at the end of April. Harsh on him, but he has stayed with Oxford. Has to be part of the playoff process. They'll be making a seat for him for Wembley, should they get there.
I think if they're going to get back into the game, Exeter, we've seen obviously Lee Phillips and what an impact he's made on the game. He's looked lively, he's looked bright, but he's not been supported particularly well by John Challinor. It was a bit of a surprise asking him to play up front. He has got ability, he can deliver balls into box from good areas, and he's got a good strike on him, can score goals, but he just hasn't been involved in this first half so far, Challinor. I'm sure Paul Tisdale will be looking at Challinor to get into the game a bit quicker.
Rose was alert then. Exeter, I think, had worked on that. Everybody was thrown by the fact that Phillips had come across to Billy Jones, who was about to take that free kick. Carlisle was unmarked. Rose saw what was happening. Gill with a throw, looking for Top.
I'm actually surprised that Gill's taking the throw-ins.
Driven in again by Gill. It's the equalising goal, and it's Lee Phillips. Denied early on by an offside flag, but he's on target again, and this time the goal will stand, and Exeter are very much back in this.
That's a terrific delivery back in, isn't it? The throw-in is not dealt with particularly well. They're struggling to clear their lines as Danny Rose spins and hooks it towards Matt Gill. He just volleys the ball back into that 6-yard box. It's a super ball in, and it's Lee Phillips who's been nice and positive, confident, gets up nice and early, knows he only has to make contact with the ball, and pops it into the bottom corner. Should Billy Turley have come for it? It's a difficult one for the goalkeeper with the pace that the ball was coming in with.
Oxford United having taken the lead through Yemi Udabedi. Lee Phillips now with the equalising goal. 1-1 on the night, 2-1 to Oxford on aggregate. And what a lift that will give Exeter going into half-time. Heads didn't drop after that Oxford goal as it might have done. Phillips perhaps feeling aggrieved that the earlier effort was ruled out for offside. Thumping header from Phillips. Determined to get there first, wasn't he?
He was, and the good thing about it is he's not the biggest of centre-forwards either, but he's determined, he's positive, he's focused. We can see it in his face there. He's pleased with the goal, but he must be pleased as well with his first half performance. He's deserved that goal, Tony. He's worked very, very hard, but he got up nice and early. and got his head on the ball, and that's all he needed to do, was get some contact, because it was a decent delivery in the box with pace.
Pumped in by Anaclet. Nice, able to come out and play. It's a huge clearance by the Exeter goalkeeper. Gill. There's Edwards. Challen. Jim Smith has seen enough from the director's box. He's decided now to come down to the touchline. What a difference a goal can make. Oxford and their supporters celebrating after their team had gone in front after enduring a lot of Exeter City pressure early on. Exeter showing their mettle and a huge amount of resolve to get back in this now at 1-1.
It's important as well when you go a goal down to get back into the game as soon as possible. Half-time was beckoning, and it was that period where Exeter felt they should get back in before the half-time whistle. Losing out. Zabroski. Zabroski's done well to pick out Burgess. The Beatty. He's gone in the car park. He's confident, isn't he? Not frightened to take the shot on, and I think every time he goes into his feet in and around the box, he's quick, he's sharp. He's got that low centre of gravity, turns very quickly. He's not frightened to have a shot, even if it goes high, wide and handsome. Significantly, Oxford will be kicking to the end where their supporters are gathered. Kassam Stadium is essentially a three-sided ground. Jim Smith has said that sometimes he wonders if that affects his team, the open end away to our left. It must be slightly surreal. It's a little bit strange, isn't it? Offside being given against Oxford here. It's a strange decision to only build a stadium with three sides, but I guess they were always looking to expand, and once the club improves and pushes up the leagues, I guess they were looking to build the other stand there, but obviously things didn't go as planned, Tony. Things not going as planned for Oxford this evening. In front, but now Exeter have got an equalising goal. What a lift that will give them just before half-time. Exeter, who themselves were disappointing in the opening 45 minutes at home on Friday evening, making this a real occasion. Wembley the prize, the immediate prize. I just think, I wonder what Jim Smith is thinking now on the bench. Is it maybe a time to go like for like? I don't think the three centre-backs have dealt with things particularly well this evening. Ball has been kept in play. Terrific reaction by Billy Turley. This is a great save. I think he's made the wrong decision, Challoner, but it's a great save by Turley at his near post. Despite having the best defensive record in the conference, much to their goalkeeper Billy Turner. Well, he's chased this one down, hasn't he? John Challoner just keeps it in play. Now he's got an opportunity to pass, but he takes a shot on. Brave by Billy Turley, stands up at that near post and ball ricochets off his body. Turner made a terrific double save in the first leg at Exeter on Friday evening when Oxford were in front. Here it's 1-1. Beatty, who had given Oxford the lead. Rose into Zabroski. Phillips. Rose again on the ball. Risky pass by Burgess, but he's got away with it.
down by Jones as he picks out his goalkeeper. Two extra minutes we'd have then at the end of this first half. Top scorers amongst the playoff contenders this year. 67 goals they managed. It's one more than Oxford United in the regular season. One Wembley finalist decided already. Morecambe beating York City 2-1 after being behind. Here's Rose. Burgess. Udabadi.
He was a little bit unlucky there, Udabadi, but for me didn't quite get the ball out of his feet here, and Tully stands his ground. Here we see Udabadi just trying to get the ball. He doesn't get the ball forward enough, and Tully just stands his ground and flicks the ball away. The referee feels that was a foul. I didn't think there was too much in it myself, but
Rice looking for Phillips.
Well, it's been a good first half, Tony, is it? Nice and bright, nice and open. Questions being asked by both sides, and nicely poised for a decent second half. Exeter still having to push forward.
Here's Jones. You know he can hit them. Zabrowski. So Oxford United, who for a time were the runaway leaders of the conference, but they lost the leadership to Exeter City on New Year's Day, and it's neatly poised at the Kassam Stadium. Lee Phillips getting Exeter's equalising goal on the night. Those Exeter City supporters believe that their team have got the resolve necessary to turn this around and to get through to Wembley. What about Oxford United? A nervous 45 minutes in store. At the Kassam at half-time, it's Oxford United 1, Exeter City 1, and it's Oxford who lead 2-1 on aggregate. Here at home, burden of expectation perhaps getting to Oxford United. Exeter, who've never played in a game at Wembley, never at the old stadium. Will they be on their way to mark their first appearance in the new stadium, or maybe we'll be having a long, long night? Could we be heading towards the possibility of extra time and maybe penalties? It was always going to be a long night for the Exeter City supporters. But they performed terrifically well in the first half. And they tried to seize the initiative now at the start of the second half. In by Carlisle. Comfortably taken by Billy Turley, who's eager to get Udabadi involved. Zabrowski. Now Hargreaves. Forced to quickly back to his feet. Players who didn't get too many opportunities to get forward for Oxford in that first half.
Just lost his way a little bit there, Martin Fossey was looking to switch the play. Steve Tully had seen the opportunity, was closing it down, so a check back out, and Exeter getting everybody back into position. You just feel it's been Oxford's to lose tonight, having gone 2-0 up on aggregate. Just seem to be unaware of times at the moment, with Exeter really pushing, and this man Lee Phillips in the danger man for me.
Lee Phillips, who had a goal ruled out in the first half for an offside when replays showed clearly that he was onside, but he was able to grab Exeter's equaliser on the night after Yemi Udabadi had given Oxford the lead. Rose caught in possession.
Didn't have the vision there, did he, Danny Rose? He should have been aware that Anaclet was moving up on the right-hand side. First time ball to him would have really stretched the Exeter defence. It's Oxford United who arguably started the brighter of the two sides. Maybe Jim Smith at half-time was suggesting to his players, we might need to score again to actually win the tie.
Knocked away by Elam. Back in by Quinn. There's Foster. And Aclet. Pushed aside there by Elam. Jim Smith, the Oxford United manager, was told of his misery of the playoffs. Says he hates them. 3 times he's been into the playoffs with Football League clubs, and 3 times he has been a loser. 5 promotions he has achieved in his time, a couple of them with Oxford United as well. Zabrowski. Foster. Foster prepared to take on Gill. Thought he kept the ball in play. I think he's just pointing that out to the assistant.
Yeah, disappointed by Martin Foster as well. He just seems to have not been able to see a pass. He seems to be struggling when he's on the ball. He's got to move it a little bit quicker. Just finds himself in a position that he's got to run with it. It's not his sort of game. He's a better passer of the ball, and he's showing at the moment, but it's Oxford who are coming on strong.
Day towards Zabrowski. Day again. Phillips swiftly across, and Day was hurt then. Gill. And Billy Jones. Carlisle has brushed Burgess aside. Challoner in the middle. He's been joined by Elam. It'll come out to Phillips. Away by Aclet.
Well, wrong choice by Wayne Carlisle. They should be using Tully, who was giving him some support. This is a better ball this time.
Cross was deflected, and Day is now back on his feet and back in his own penalty area. So a hefty whack from Lee Phillips. Sorry, Brad.
Sorry, it's the same problem though for Exeter. It's only Lee Phillips who's in the box from the cross. Challoner really not showing his presence in that penalty area enough for Exeter City.
Exeter again imposing themselves on this game. It's Challoner!
Oh, that's better by John Challoner. He's attacked the ball much, much better. Thought Paul Tisdale at half-time would have said to John, come on, get in the box. And he can score goals. And he is dangerous when he gets into those sort of areas, but just hasn't done it often enough this evening.
Challoner has endured the heartache of defeat in the playoffs on 2 occasions with Aldershot. Once in the semi-final, once in a final, in a penalty shootout. This one could also go to penalties if Exeter score again. Away goals do not count double in the conference playoffs.
He's one of those players, John Challoner, for me, that should have played at a high level. Scores goals from midfield, as we just saw his attempt with the header. He can head balls, he can strike good balls. Huge long throw-in that he's got as well. Definite advantage for any team. Maybe just not done it enough.
Phillips. Now Challoner. Here's Elam. Clever play by Lee Elam. Jones always prepared to make himself available. Edwards damaged a hip in the first leg on Friday evening. He was Exeter's big doubt for this one, but he was pass fit before kick-off. Exeter's 2 changes, the 2 up front, and what a difference they've made. Elam allowed to go on. Feeling he was given a push in the back there by Aclet. Elam fists the ground in frustration then, because he turned away from Andy Burgess.
It was a good turn as well, wasn't it? If he'd have kept his feet, he'd have been able to break into the penalty area or get a decent cross in. Well, we saw Lee Elam early in the game in the first half was nice and bright, and again showing some ability in wide areas.
Real sense of occasion. Foster. And Aclet. There's Zabrowski. Nice pass by Chris Zabrowski, the striker who's on loan from Millwall at the moment. He was at Plymouth Argyle last season.
A little bit of a misunderstanding between him and Eddie Anaclet. Gives the ball away cheaply. Substitution now coming in for Exeter.
It's Exeter City's goal scorer who's going off. Lee Phillips, who picked up a knock in the first half, has been forced off here after just 52 minutes. That is a big blow and a major disappointment for Lee Phillips. Jamie Mackie has come on in his place. He was a substitute for the first leg at St James's Park. His last goal was on New Year's Day when Exeter defeated Oxford United in the conference.
I think that is a big blow for Exeter City. They tried to keep him going. We said at half-time that perhaps he'd had a little knock and he was struggling.
Beatty. Ball just gives chase. Eased out by Tully. Rose fouled by Carlisle. Well, it was Challoner who dived in there.
Yeah, clumsy by John Challoner. Oxford trying to work a position for the cross. This comes in a little bit too sharp, and Danny Rose was scurrying away from him. And the Oxford United crowd getting right behind their side now, trying to will them to score again.
Day has gone for. Hargreaves poised. Quinn set to make his move. Hargreaves. Ball has gone out of play. Suddenly Exeter was stretched at the back then.
Well, you tend to think that Chris Hargreaves obviously not giving up the lost cause, but the ball was intentionally played to that far post area. He's good at set plays. Chris Hargreaves.
Well, Exeter City have made a substitution already in this second half. Andy Burton is on the touchline.
Jim, is this uncomfortable viewing?
Yes, we're playing nervous and Exeter playing very well.
Have you got changes in mind?
We have, yeah, we're looking at that at the moment. We've just seen one or two's got knocks. We're just going to have to see how that situation till we make them changes.
And just briefly, do you think it's going to take more than this to win it?
Yes, obviously.
Thank you, Jim.
Exeter are poised to make another change. Jim Smith just looking across to see what Exeter are planning now. Paul Tisdale, the Exeter manager, was saying that he felt this encounter was going to be almost like a game of chess, and it's Wayne Carlisle who's gone off and it's Adam Stansfield who's come on. It's another positive switch this by Exeter City. Just wonder if John Challoner will now drop back to a midfield position with Stansfield pushed up front alongside Mackie.
Well, they tend to feel that they do need the goal, Exeter City, and they want as many players forward as possible. And Mackie will obviously play that lone role up front since Lee Phillips has come off. Needs to get hold of the ball and keep it and wait for support. Challoner will be close at hand, but looks like Adam Stansfield is going to play into the right-hand side of the front three if he can. Foul on Challoner there.
Challoner back on his feet. Hargreaves has walked away from the incident, and Exeter trying to sneak a yard or two before they take this free kick. By Tully. Set up for Challoner.
That's nice and positive, isn't it? Good ball in this time. And Mackie's made himself into an important figure up front, challenging for the ball. The ball breaks loose. Challoner with the shot. Good blocking by Oxford United.
Exeter pressing a lot of blue shirts inside that penalty area. Here's Edwards. Zabrowski. Oxford needs somebody to take a hold of the ball.
going to have to do this a little bit more, aren't they, Exeter City? They've got to keep the pressure on, keep pushing Oxford back if they can. Oxford now almost defending with a back five of as Exeter come forward.
Here's Challoner, tipped away by Turley.
It's just a long ball. It's going to happen time and time again as this second half winds on. Pick up the loose pass. Good little ball by Gill. Challoner gets that right into the top corner. Good save by Billy Turley.
Challoner denied. Exeter continuing to press. Spraying towards Turley, who gathers cleanly. And was eager to get Oxford moving again with Eddie Anaclet. He's made up a lot of ground. Zabrowski.
This is good play by Billy Turley. He's taken the ball from the cross so cleanly. There's a decent little throw out to Eddie Anaclet, who makes yards and yards up the field. Nice and positive. Gets a decent ball into the box as well. Zabrowski with a good first touch. Can't quite get his shot on target, but just proving that Oxford United, although the pressure coming from Exeter, Oxford have got that ability to hit them on the counter-attack with the pace.
Tisdale was saying he was impressed by the way his team performed on the final day when they came from behind to beat Southport. Here's Udabedi, magnificent from Udabedi. He just dragged the shot wide.
Well, again, this starts from the header by Matt Day. It's a good header. Just knocks it down to Zabrowski. Little 1-2 with Zabrowski and Udabedi. Well, he does what he does well, doesn't he? Gets his head down, drives towards the Exeter defence. Good, powerful drive, and just steadies himself and tries to steer it into that far bottom corner.
More changes being made here. Lee Elam has gone off for Exeter City, replaced by Richard Logan, who was in from the start on Friday evening. And Oxford also want to make a change. Eddie Anaclet is going off. Rob Duffy is coming on in his place. So Exeter have now made all three substitutions. Anaclet has gone off for Oxford. Rob Duffy has come on.
It was an interesting change by Jim Smith. He's obviously changed his formation now. Tony, I think he's gone 4-3-3. And just looking to use the four defenders just to dig in when Exeter push forward. Tactical move by Jim Smith.
Jim Smith pacing up and down in the technical area. Here's Rhodes. Out of Burgess. It will be a throw to Exeter.
Interesting one from Paul Tisdale as well, from making his final substitution with Rob Duffy. Obviously he needs a goal. He's got to do something.
Rob Duffy was Oxford United's top goal scorer. 18 he managed in the conference. He's got 21 in total. Oxford have been struggling to get goals during the second half of the season. A season of so much promise, which was in danger of falling apart as Dagenham and Redbridge ran away with the title. Oxford expected to return to the Football League as champions. That hasn't happened. Will they make it through to Wembley to face Morecambe? Supporters win a day out, but the big prize, as always this season, is the chance of getting back into the Football League. Another great chance for Challoner.
Well, he's coming more and more into the game, isn't he, John Challoner? This is what we talked about, getting into the penalty area, picking up bits and pieces. Just a little stab there, he's just trying to get to the ball first. Pokes it towards the goal, can't keep it down. Frustration at popping it over the crossbar.
Tactically it has been fascinating. Paul Tisdale there just having words with Paul Buckle. 3 substitutions he's made now. Introduced 2 new attackers from the kickoff with Callender and Phillips. Now he's got Logan and Stansfield up front. touch, and was dropped back into midfield, and he's looking more effective there, Clive.
Yeah, he is. He's much more effective. I think he's more comfortable. I think he was expected to get up with Lee Phillips a lot more often. Hasn't happened, and now he's dropped a little bit deep. He's almost playing in the hole. They've got a front three, Exeter, with Challoner now playing that sort of roving role in behind the front three, allowing Gill just to sit with Taylor in the middle of midfield.
Flagger stayed down. It's Duffy. Should have done far better. Should have scored. What a moment that could prove to be.
Well, it's absolutely perfect, isn't it, for Rob Duffy to put this one into the back of the net. Jim Smith throws his arms in the air. He had so long to think about it. Definitely onside. What a time to make a decision for Rob Duffy. Could have just finished the tie there and then.
Mackie. There's Edwards. Zabriskie strong. Jim Smith had asked his team on Friday to give everything. Both these teams are giving everything now. Zabriskie. Pass was rather hasty. Suggestion of a handball there by Challoner. On the blind side of the referee. Jones looking for Logan. Quinn didn't know where the ball had dropped. Challoner. Mackie. By Hargreaves. Udabedi. Will Oxford regret those chances to put the game beyond Exeter's reach? Udabedi shooting wide, and Duffy denied by Rice. Zabriskie. Will be a corner.
Well, I think the good thing from a neutral's point of view, Tony, this is just getting quicker and quicker. Ball going from end to end, and this is the opportunity for Duffy. Takes a long time. The goalkeeper goes to ground. He's got to finish there, and he just rolls it into Rice's feet. He's so disappointed. He's got to get over it. He might just get another chance.
Rice denying Duffy. Duffy has gone 9 games without scoring. It's cost him his place in the starting lineup.
I think that smacked of someone who lacked confidence, Tony.
Swept in by Burgess. It's just too long for Hargreaves. And also Duffy. Time to bite the nails. Oxford at the moment on their way to Wembley. 2-1 on aggregate, 1-1 on the night. He is not taking anything for granted. He knows that Exeter are proving quite a threat.
Well, he looks the calmest man around, Tony. I think the fans, look at the fans there, just hands on head, can't bear to look at times. Well, you feel the way the game's going with just over 20 minutes still to play, that something might still happen. I think there's another goal in this game yet.
Udabedi. Udabedi just couldn't get beyond Jones.
Oh, it's good defending this time by Billy Jones. He knows about the pace of Udabedi, and he knows that he wants to get outside him. Stands his ground, deals with it well, he's nice and strong. Oh, possibly was that a corner, but I think some credit should go to Jones.
Billy Jones, who was in the Kidderminster team that lost their place in the Football League. He will be hoping to make a return with Exeter City. Morecambe already in the final. Oxford United will feel that they've got one foot in the final. Here's Stansfield. Magnificent run by Stansfield.
Well, it warranted a shot, didn't it, by Adam Stansfield? He's done ever so well to get into the position.
Edwards. Out by Burgess. led by Taylor. He's leaning on Zabrowski.
He's not happy with the communication there. Sully should have been telling him that Zabrowski was charging down on him. It's good chasing back by Zabrowski to try and get the ball back for Oxford United.
It's great entertainment for the neutrals, but for those directly involved, he's getting increasingly anxious. Exeter desperate to get the goal which will level the scores on aggregate. Oxford looking to get the goal that they will feel will put them into the playoff final. They have the advantage just. Not by Foster. Edwards. Just looking to release Duffy again. Here's Logan. Mackie. He just about managed to get something on the ball then after Quinn had been wrong-footed. And then Gill finding Tully. Challoner with Hargreaves. Burgess to clear. Oxford supporters expecting more from their team. Exeter continuing to do all the pressing. Come on a long way. It's right across the face of goal, and Adam Stansfield has squeezed that in, and Exeter City have levelled on aggregate. Adam Stansfield, on as a substitute, has scored a wonderful goal here. He had nothing to aim at, and look what it means. Oxford United supporters can't believe it. The Exeter City fans are delirious.
Was a great crossfield ball. This is. Was he offside? It's a tight decision. Well, he's had the little bit of good fortune as Burgess tries to clear. It's bounced up off his body, but he's done everything right after that. Oh, I don't think that can be given for handball. I think he's had a little bit of good fortune, but it's terrific skills. A little drop of the shoulder by Stansfield. Just drops his shoulder here, goes outside Gilchrist, and just puts it into that bottom corner. We can see what it means to Paul Tisdale.
It promises to be a thrilling climax. Exeter, if they get through to Wembley, will have done it the hard way. Lost the first leg at 1-0, trailed here at the Kassam 1-0. Yemi Odebedi giving Oxford the lead after Lee Phillips had a legitimate goal ruled out for offside. Phillips to get the equaliser, then he's gone off with a hamstring injury. And it's Adam Stansfield, his 10th goal of the season. What a goal it could prove to be. Scored in an FA Trophy success for Yeovil against Stevenage. Now he has got a priceless goal for Exeter City. By Mackie. Here's Logan. It might come to Mackie a second time, and it's Day who's been able to launch the ball upfield once more. Oxford at the moment like a boxer on the ropes. There is no way out for them.
I think he's unlucky there. Mackie's done ever so well backing him, but I think he's done well to get anything on the header as the pressure comes from Exeter City.
Paul Neil Tisdale, what a job he's done at Exeter City. His first season in charge. Big step up from him. Team back he was looking after previously. Jim Smith, who's had 39 years in management. He started in the non-league as player manager with Boston United. He returned to Oxford to a hero's welcome towards the end of last season. Came too late to stop Oxford dropping out of the Football League. Those Oxford supporters thought that they were on the verge of returning perhaps to the Football League. They missed out in the Championship to Dagenham and Redbridge. They had a convincing lead come the end of the regular season. Oxford to endure the agonies of the playoffs.
It's amazing how the game has swung backwards and forwards, hasn't it? Lee Phillips with the opportunity that was ruled from an offside from the goal he scored. And also Oxford United's opportunity for Rob Duffy a few minutes ago to actually finish the tie-off. He's got a great chance to score. Doesn't score, and then it's Exeter who come back the other way and put the ball into the back of the net. And at the moment, you'd have to say advantage is with Exeter.
As it stands, we will be going into extra time if it stays this way, and if it's like this at the end of extra time, we will go into a penalty shootout. And these two teams have met in the LDV Vans Trophy in a penalty shootout previously. That one, Exeter City one. Who will keep their nerve? Who will provide the spark of inspiration? Peter Beattie found it when he gave Oxford United the lead on the night.
Well, I think we've seen from Oxford United they've got the ability to break quickly when they are under pressure. I think from Exeter's point of view, I would think it'd be more important for them to press on. They've got the advantage territorially at the moment. I think they should really push on and try and take this advantage all the way to the 90th minute. When you come into extra time, anything can happen. Tiredness and cramp can creep in and players can get out of position.
Tommy. Now to come forward a long way. Stansfield to cut inside. And that was just the wrong side of the post as far as the Exeter City supporters were concerned. He is claiming that somebody got a touch on that.
He's causing problems all the time. I think it's because of Burgess not being a natural defender, playing in that left-back position now for Oxford United. That's a decent save by Billy Turley. He gets away with it though. I think we see it creeping into that bottom corner. Good save.
It was a brilliant save by Billy Turley. Stansfield rightfully aggrieved that Exeter City didn't get a corner kick out of that. They should have had a goal in the first half when Lee Phillips was supposedly caught offside, when replay showed that he was definitely onside. So on Wednesday at 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports HD1, it's the Premiership. It's Chelsea against Manchester United, a guard of honour for them at Stamford Bridge. Thursday at 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1, Tottenham against Blackburn Rovers. Both those teams looking to get a place in the UEFA Cup next season. For Oxford and Exeter City, the target is a place at Wembley for the conference final. Beyond that, maybe a place in the Football League. Steve Perriman, Director of Football now at Exeter City, ended his playing career with Oxford United. Exeter, who've had many off-field problems, have sorted themselves out. They had the glory of that FA Cup fixture, 2 fixtures against Manchester United a couple of years ago. Those occasions very much a one-off. Getting back into the Football League is far more important in the long term. Zabrowski. Rudabedi. Taken wide by Jones.
He's gone in for a throw-in on that far side, but he's done the right thing. Rudabedi again taking on Jones. That's good play by Oxford United, just to keep the ball active and around the penalty area. Udabadi does well, takes on Jones again, using his pace, doesn't quite get the contact he's looking for on the ball. He's trying to do the right thing, put it in with pace, touch the face.
Exeter finished the season in 5th place. No team who's finished 5th has gone on to win the playoffs yet. Udabedi. Jones again sticking close to the goal scorer. The effort that gave Oxford the lead.
It's been a good tussle, hasn't it? Billy Jones has stood his ground on many occasions. Can't stay with Udabadi's pace, but he's defended well.
Day's throw. And by Zabrowski. Udabedi is offside.
Well, it's unfortunate, isn't it, for Udabadi, but he's actually stood there. He's not making any movement. He's in an offside position when the ball's thrown. Makes no attempt to get back onside. Easy one for the linesman on this near side.
It was a much easier call for David Belvin, the assistant on this near side, who in the first half got it badly wrong when Lee Phillips put the ball in the Oxford United net. And it was ruled out.
It's been a good battle in midfield as well. Martin Foster and Matt Gill. For me, Gill has had the upper hand. He's been driving in through that midfield. He's worked hard across the midfield area. He's made some telling passes as well. So far, he's won the battle in there for me.
He's played in every conference game this season for Exeter City. As has Billy Jones, the left back. Season there was nothing between these two teams. Exeter winning at St James Park on New Year's Day, 2-1 success. Oxford winning here 1-0 way back in September.
Mackie disappointed there was a handball, and Billy Jones as well on the pop at the linesman. As the ball bounces up, hits him on the hand. And a chance for Oxford now to push bodies forward.
Mackie sensibly ushered away. So important that Exeter keep their concentration now. Swept in by Foster. The header was angled just wide. Day the nearest.
He's unlucky there, Matt Day. This is a good ball in by Martin Foster. This is a great delivery. Good pace, swerving away from the goal. Just unlucky, Matt Day, arriving just at the right time. Slightly behind him perhaps, but so unlucky not to steer this towards the goal.
There's a wrestling match going on inside that Exeter penalty area then as well between Zabrowski and Challoner. Given away by Gilchrist. Stansfield. Gill. Now Taylor. Challoner again well forward.
Well, he's got to keep doing that, John Challoner. Got to keep making those runs in beyond. When he runs from deep, he stays onside. All this time from Taylor, not quite good enough.
It's Challoner. Not afraid to have a go, particularly in this second half when he's tested Billy Turley on a couple of occasions.
And again, he's had a better second half than first, been much more involved, playing higher up the park, worth a strike. Not quite on target on this occasion.
Tired legs and tired minds. Who was going to make the slip? Who was going to buckle under the pressure? Can't dream of Wembley just yet. Both these teams with work to do. Gives him Mackie together.
Well, since he's been on, Jamie Mackie, he's been nice and positive, hasn't he? He's trying to drift towards his left-hand side and get players into positions of isolation and check back inside onto his stronger right foot time and time again.
And by Duffy. Duffy again. Decision has gone against Exeter. Some key moments in this second half. The miss by Rob Duffy soon after he came on as a substitute for Oxford United. Exeter were behind, leading now 2-1, 2-2 on aggregate. Day with a free kick. Easily gathered by Rice. I wonder if he is considering penalties already.
I should think the goalkeepers are just looking to the extra time and hoping they don't have to face the penalties, but it's definitely a possibility.
Jones. Now Mackie. Here's Logan. Scored it last season for Lincoln. Woodabady. Now Foster. Reached the playoffs last season with Halifax. Then by Burgess. Out by Gill. Others felt that Oxford should have had a corner kick then.
Well, I think they've got a chance of a good break here. Martin Foster breaks forward through midfield. They get it wide to the left, and Andy Burgess, as we know, has got a good delivery with his left foot. And they've got players in good areas this time, Oxford, and don't make the most of the opportunity. Maybe one or two tired legs and tired minds out there at the moment. And it looks like they might have to continue with an extra 30 minutes.
Agonies for Oxford United on the final day of last season when they lost their place in the Football League. Beaten by Leyton Orient, who are on their way into League One. Oxford, who won the first leg 1-0. In front here 1-0 with Yemi Odebedi's goal. Exeter, who've come back and equalised through Lee Phillips, and who've now gone in front through Adam Stansfield. And here's Stansfield! He's offside.
Well, he's gone for the first time volley. It's a good run forward by Tully. Flag goes up straight away for Stansfield. He's got to stay onside. Well, if we look across there, he is onside. It's a poor decision by the linesman. Doesn't quite make the contact he was looking for, though, Stansfield. Found himself in a nice bit of space.
Stansfield, in his first season with Exeter City, he was in the playoffs last season with Hereford United. His goal was on the final day of the regular season, which helped Exeter into these playoffs. Came from behind against Southport. Oxford throw. This arguably is the biggest game of Paul Tisdale's short managerial career. Jim Smith asking for more from his team. He's got the luxury of perhaps being able to make a couple of substitutions. Should we get to extra time? Exeter have made all three changes. Darren Patterson there is number 2, was saying that the preparations for the first leg last week were spot on. Jim Smith had taken his team away for a couple of days. He's determined to make sure that his team were fully focused on their job.
Jamie, squeeze in! Mackie!
Split Oxford's back line. Chandler couldn't make the header. Here's Todd. Hargreaves with his foot up. Taylor now back on his feet, but he was just caught there in the face by Chris Hargreaves.
Well, I thought he was. There was a high boot that the referee didn't actually see. I think he was on the blind side. There was a high boot by Hargreaves. It actually might have been his knee who actually caught him in the forehead. I don't think any malice meant there, and the referee's saying that he needs treatment. I think the referee stopped the game because of, obviously, he thought it was a head injury.
Is that just a nick on his forehead?
Maybe slightly, but I don't think Hargreaves meant anything by it. Generally trying to pinch the ball.
Should we get to extra time, Chris Hargreaves' experience will be invaluable for Oxford United.
Well, he's going to have to go off, Andy Taylor.
Taylor, a former Manchester United junior whose hopes of a Premiership career were cut short by injury. Steve Perryman, Exeter's director of football, just offering some advice and some input.
Well, lots of experience there with Steve Perryman. What a player he was. Just giving his experience to Tisdale there.
Last minute of the 90. Extra time is looming. Beyond that, who knows, even a penalty shootout. Fifth year of these conference playoffs. None of the games have ended with a margin of more than one goal. They're tight, they're always tight. Here's Rose. Now Burgess. Zabrowski. Duffy has joined Hargreaves inside the penalty area. Hargreaves with a header. Couldn't quite get enough on it. Maybe that was the moment for Oxford United.
Well, he's usually better in the air than this, Chris Hargreaves, when he gets a free header in the penalty area. Just has to step back, maybe in the box a little bit too early.
Stoppage time at the end of the second half. 3 extra minutes. Is it going to be 3 extra minutes and another 30? Mackie. Here's Gill. Now Jones. 4 to pick out inside their Oxford penalty area. Clearance wasn't the best. Turley has made the save yet again. Mackie's attempt, which was blocked there by Billy Turley's legs.
Well, he's got a chance, hasn't he, there? Jamie Mackie to finish his tie in the last minute. Well, I think this is a super save by Billy Turley. Stands up and does ever so well. Well, you could suggest that Mackie could have gone down as well as the lunging tackle comes in from Day. Here we see it here. Could he have gone down? No, he stays on his feet. He's honest. There's the challenge. He could have gone down, but he wants to score. And again, Turley makes a save.
Billy Turley was hurt in the warm-up ahead of the final game of the season at York. It was a fixture that Oxford United lost 1-0. There were fears that he dislocated his thumb. It turned out just to be heavy bruising. How grateful Oxford are to their goalkeeper. Here's Logan. Perhaps caught in two minds then. He was aware that Challoner had made a run in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it wasn't quite positive enough, was he, when he got on the ball there, Richard Logan. Well, he's come on and made a bit of an impact. He's won quite a lot of headers. The ball stuck to him quite well. Better perhaps than in the first leg.
Foster with a push. Third and final minute of second half stoppage time. Jones. Swept crossfield towards Stansfield. Exeter being urged on by their supporters on that far side. Last opportunity maybe to win on aggregate in normal time. No way through for Stansfield this time. Key moments of the second half. The goal that Adam Stansfield scored to give Exeter the advantage. 2-1 their lead on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. And Rob Duffy on as a substitute for Oxford United, who wasted the chance to maybe settle things. Duffy looks to the heavens. His miss could prove crucial here for Oxford United, who for a time thought that they were on their way to Wembley to face Morecambe in the playoff final. Adam Stansfield and Exeter City have other ideas. Great character, great resolve from Paul Tisdale's team. Now the manager has some work to do as he prepares his team for extra time. A season which has gone into overtime is going to drag out for a while longer. Jim Smith, who's endured the agonies of the playoffs on 3 occasions before, he has got plenty of experience. We've got 30 minutes of extra time still to come. The Exeter City supporters can't wait. Agony, however, for the Oxford United followers. Extra time is coming next. Time to take a big deep breath. 30 minutes to come. The possibility of penalties beyond that. Oxford 1, Exeter City 2 on the night. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Who will triumph ultimately? Oxford United were practicing penalties yesterday, and apparently they were awful. Will they keep their nerve now? Will it be Exeter City who keep their nerve? It has been a wonderful occasion, this, certainly for those impartial, for those who are closer to the two teams. It has been agony at times. Exeter, who thought they'd scored a good goal, had it ruled out. Oxford, who took the lead to go 2 up on aggregate, and Exeter now, who fought back to make it 2-2 on aggregate.
A good start, isn't it, by Oxford as well in this extra time, and Rob Edwards there, maybe a little bit of tiredness from him, giving away the corner when possibly he should have only just given away a throw-in. Everybody back for Exeter.
In by Burgess, looking for Hargreaves. Who is going to get weary? Who is going to make the mistake now? Followed by Jones. Stansfield gives chase, and Stansfield's got there. He's down and hurt.
He's done well, hasn't he? He's got to the ball first, and Matt Day just very, very fortunately gets his foot there at the same time.
Zabrowski.
I think that's why Exeter need as well the use of their substitutions. Stansfield still limping away. Maybe he turned an ankle as he went for that ball.
Stansfield just limping into his own half. In by Burgess. Well gathered under pressure by Rice.
It's a good take by Martin Rice. Terrific take under pressure from Duffy. Hit him quite hard, but he's kept a hold of the ball.
Martin Rice will return for the last 5 games of the season. First chance because Paul Jones was sent off in a game against Aldershot. Challoner with another long-range effort. This time Turley untroubled.
Well, never given anything to go for this time. John Challoner's shot always drifting away from the goal. We're in one of those situations, Tony, as always, in extra time, and the effort that the boys have put in the first 90 minutes as the Exeter fans get behind their side, trying to encourage them, push them further forward, looking for this elusive goal.
Exeter, who dropped out of the Football League in 2003, they finished 23rd of the 24 clubs. First club to suffer automatic relegation without finishing bottom. Squeezed into the conference playoffs. They finished the season in 5th place, but They ended the season on a good run. Home form was most impressive, but they lost the opening leg of this playoff semi-final. Towards Stansfield, acrobatic.
That's unlucky from Jamie Mackie on the far side there. Again, a good throw by Matt Gill into the box. A bit of shirt pulling as well in there, but he's gone for that spectacular. Too close to Billy Turley.
By Gill, looking for Stansfield. Going back to his goalkeeper. Stansfield won't give up the chase.
I think he's still struggling with a turned ankle there, Adam Stansfield, but he's giving everything he's got. Just limps away from that 30-yard run he just made, but a chance now for Gill to launch it forward again.
Gill tries to pick out low. Rose. With a bait. He's had little joy out of Billy Jones, particularly after half-time. Oxford making a switch, deciding to bring on Rob Duffy and play him through the middle with Odobade out wide, trying to utilise Odobade's pace.
Well, one thing he should look at, Odobade, is maybe changing things at times, Tony, as well. He seems to want to get the ball down and charge forward on every single occasion. In the end, the defender knows what he's going to do. He gets himself into the right position and deals with it a lot better. And sometimes maybe he's got to mix it up, Odobade. He has got explosive pace, but he's got to add more to his game. We've seen the goals, of course, but sometimes you have to make defenders think a little bit harder.
Duffy. Jones back to his goalkeeper. By Logan. Here's Stansfield. Now Mackie had a great chance for Exeter just before the end of normal time. Stansfield. Challoner. Now Tully to give Exeter a bit more width. And by Gill. And Turley hasn't been able to claim this time. Rare error by the Oxford goalkeeper.
I was just looking to see who he's going to moan at for this on Billy Turley, but he's made a poor decision, hasn't he? This is a good ball in by Matt Gill, swerving away from the goalkeeper. He gets a little bit on it, but fortunately from their point of view, just a wry smile from Billy Turley this time.
Matt Day received an ear bashing on Friday evening during the first half of the game at St James Park. Seems a long time ago now. Oxford taking the lead. That shot from Danny Rose, which was deflected in by Exeter's Andy Taylor. That gave Oxford the first leg advantage. Exeter in this second leg have turned it around. Long-range attempt, which Turley is able to gather comfortably, again from Mackie.
Well, he's just giving Matt Day a few problems playing in that right back position now. Days looks a little bit uncomfortable, more of a central defender. Jamie Mackie asking one or two questions of him.
Jamie Mackie was just 21 years of age. He scored against Oxford when Exeter won at St James Park back on New Year's Day. He's a member of the Exeter City Supporters Trust. Exeter, a club have enjoyed numerous off-field problems in recent times, but they've sorted those out now. Looking to rebuild and to rebuild perhaps in the Football League. Smith trying to attract the attention of Andy Haynes, the referee, because Oxford are ready to make changes. Double substitution by Oxford United. Carl Pettifer, the midfielder, is coming on along with Gavin Johnson. going off. Off and Pettifer on. Danny Rose is also going off here to be replaced by the vastly experienced Gavin Johnson. Well, this might be Danny Rose's last appearance at the Kassam Stadium. He is on loan from Manchester United. Gavin Johnson, who made his Football League debut 18 years ago.
Well, I think this also gives Oxford United a chance to push Andy Burgess further forward. Can they get it to him, and maybe he can create a little bit more for them in these final minutes. But Gavin Johnson will go into that left back, very, very experienced, quality defender. Here we see the challenge that is Zabrowski, who's gone down. Just got a whack on the side of the ear.
Side of the head from Chris Todd, the Exeter City skipper. He was in the Exeter City team when they lost their place in the Football League. Finished with a point less than Carlisle United in May 2003. Is it their turn to return? Oxford United ready to bounce back. Morecambe will have other ideas. Morecambe have never played in the Football League. What Sam McElroy will make of this sitting at home.
Well, I think he'd just be pleased that they're there, Tony. I don't think he'll worry too much who he's playing. As we can tell, you know, against sort of cup finals it will be. And at the new Wembley, anything could happen.
There's Pettifer just on with Johnson. Pettifer, who had a time with Exeter City. By Logan. Here's Edwards. He's done well to last the distance, having been a majored out with a hip injury. Challoner with Hargreaves. And by Burgess. Casual by Edwards. Here's Duffy. Pettifer is already very busy. Driven crossfield by Day. Headed away by Tully, and Turner's found Stansfield. Stansfield racing on. He's got Mackie alongside him. It's Stansfield.
Well, I think this is worth the effort. I think he's done well here, Adam Stansfield, although struggling to get any power into his shot once he gets there. And maybe stretching a little bit as well, but it's a good drive towards the edge of the penalty area. Well worth the effort. As we say, by the efforts on goal. And there we see on target, Exeter City dominated the shots on target.
Zabrowski. Stansfield. Now Logan. There's Tully. Gill. Challoner. Gill again. Tully's come out a long way. It might have been the wrong decision. Stansfield has done enough to win the corner kick. And now it's Barry Quinn who's having words with his goalkeeper, Billy Turley.
I think he's made a terrific run. He's not given up the ghost. Adam Stansfield runs in behind. Turley comes to the ball. I think he thought he was going to get there first. Stansfield could have hooked this into the goal. Chance from Mackie, who was coming in on the far post, but how important it is for someone like Adam Stansfield to run in behind and cause problems. The defenders making them turn.
Jones will whip this in left-footed. Todd has made a move to the near post. Interesting to see the different approaches of Paul Tisdale and Jim Smith when the teams were just taking a breather before extra time started. Tisdale quickly about his work on the pitch, just encouraging everybody. As his assistant is Paul Buckle there at the moment. Jim Smith was deep in thought, wasn't saying a great deal.
Well, there's different ways, everybody knows, as being a manager. Jim Smith knows every single which way to go, and Paul Tisdale is doing it his way.
Both teams looking increasingly wary.
I think they know, don't they, Tony, that a goal given away by him, a simple mistake, will be the end for them.
And by Burgess. Right away by Edwards. Slow to get back to his feet again. Day. There's Tully. Final minute of first half, extra time.
It's all getting a bit hectic in there as well. Everybody trying to get to the ball first. Tiredness creeping in, and the touch seems to go, and it's just a question of not giving anything away and trying to get it into the opponent's half. And it's all becoming a bit scrappy as expected.
Nobody wants to make a mistake. Nobody wants to live with the knowledge that perhaps their error has cost their team a place in a Wembley final. Wembley only half the story. Big objective returning to the Football League. Day with a throw. Out by Edwards. And Todd. Logan has lost out. Zabrowski. It's a tame effort in the end. We'll take one extra minute at the end of this first half of extra time. A huge clearance by Rice. Exeter have made steady progress. Last season they finished 7th, they were 6th in 2005. They missed out on the playoffs on both those occasions. So he just managed to get something on that as Udibedi threatened. Taylor. On by Logan. Here's Challoner. Now Matthews found a lot of room. He wasn't deceived by the step over. Gill. Now Jones. Out by Quinn. So 15 more minutes to go. 15 minutes to maybe find a winner or to prepare for a penalty shootout. Jim Smith just having another word or two with his team. Paul Tisdale gathering his notes and gathering his thoughts. It's 2-2 on aggregate. It's agony for the supporters of Oxford United and those of Exeter City. The views now of the Dagenham and Redbridge manager, John Still. He's with Rob McCaffrey.
Yeah, John, it's been a thrilling game, hasn't it? Where's your money now?
It's kicking me tight. If I was Oxford, I'd be delighted because I think they could be out of this. I think Exeter have dominated the game. If I had to bet, I think I'd go with Exeter, but if it goes to penalties, it's anybody's game.
How much influence can a manager have at this point, or is it a case of just how fit are your players and don't make a mistake?
I do think so. I think your fitness levels are going to come into question now, but your professionalism, I think you've got to play a little bit percentage stuff now because it would be a crime for someone to make a mistake and go out now.
The kind of game it's been, you'd like something like a little bit of brilliance, wouldn't you, to really win it before penalties?
Absolutely. If a bit of magic could win it, it'd be fantastic. At the moment, the cohesion's with Exeter. If anyone's got a bit of magic, I think it's maybe one or two of the Exeter forwards.
They've certainly passed it a lot better than Oxford, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that when they've got forward, they've got greater support around their front people. Whereas I think it's been spasmodic as far as Oxford are concerned. But you can hear their support, and who knows what's going to happen.
We're in for a fantastic finish. Second period of extra time. Let's rejoin Clive and Tony.
Whatever happens, it's going to be a thrilling finale. Paul Tisdale, who's done so well in his first season in charge of Exeter City. Jim Smith, who's endured the agonies of the playoffs 3 times before, 3 times he has seen his teams lose. Is it to be Oxford's turn? Or will Exeter City move a step nearer a return to the Football League? They can't really add anything now, the two managers, can they?
Well, that's their final bit of input into the game, and it's up to the players now. We talk about fitness levels and strength of mind and character and professionalism, and all those things will come into this last 15 minutes. Might also be about the substitutions. I tend to feel the substitutes are going to be the fitter of the players. People like Logan and Stansfield. Are these players fit enough to go on and win the game?
Challenger.
Or is it going to be about someone like Rob Duffy? Is he going to get an opportunity in front of goal?
Edwards bursting forward. Here's Challenger. Stansfield might still get his chance. He's been given away by Gilchrist. Mackie. Now Gill, who's been such an influential performer for Exeter City. It's Gill's pass which has found Challenger. Too high for Logan, and it came through to Mackie.
Got to do better there, Jamie Mackie. Great ball into that far post again. Mackie with a free header. Either this has got to go back towards the far post, or he's got to nod it down. I think that's got to go across the face of the goal. And I think Paul Tisdale agrees. Got to hit the target there, Mackie.
Great chance just before the end of 90 minutes. Denied by Billy Turley, who's made a couple of really good saves for Oxford United. There's a slip there which has almost presented a chance to Pettifer. Rice just got something on the ball.
Well, we talked about the substitutes, how they're going to make a difference. Doesn't get enough on the back pass. Pettifer gets there first. Well, you've got to say, that's a good save by Rice. He's got something on the ball. Good decision by the referee too. Jim Smith doesn't agree. But I think that's a good decision.
Logan. Mackie. Weary clearance by Matt Day. Oxford weren't expecting him to be available at the end of the season. He picked up a serious knee injury, which many thought would rule him out until next season. Left on by Gill. Here's Jones, looking for Challenger. It's forward to Logan.
Didn't just drop for him, did it, Richard Logan? Half an opportunity.
Johnson. Through for Zabroski. And by Logan, looking for Challenger. Gilchrist there to get the ball out of play.
Again, the ball didn't fall for John Challenger, did it? Logan again doing well just to hold up the play and wait for Challenger to arrive from a deeper position.
Challenger has endured the disappointment of semi-final defeat on 2 occasions in the playoffs with Aldershot. And ever nearer to a penalty shootout. Billy Turley, the Oxford United goalkeeper, said he was relishing the opportunity to both try and save penalties and to score one himself. Said that he would be one of the first in the line should Jim Smith be looking for volunteers. Pettifer. Now Johnson, another of Jim Smith's late substitutes, in order to get a late show in this semi-final second leg.
Well, he's done all he can, hasn't he, now? It's on pensively, I think, as well. You'd have to say, with Oxford being 2-0 up on aggregate. It's really a game that Jim Smith probably feels that their side are throwing away, and with the lottery of penalties coming up, that could swing either way. Paul Tisdale will say, well, what a performance by his team tonight, being a goal down.
Tisdale has shown he isn't afraid to be bold when he has to be. Aware that his team underperformed during the first half at St James Park on Friday evening, and then made changes at half-time to try and improve his team's performance. It worked then. The changes which he made for this fixture as well have worked in Exeter's favour. Decided to drop his front two. Phillips and Challoner, and it was Phillips who got the equalising goal on the night for Exeter after Odubedi had given Oxford the lead. And by Logan. Let's come back to Logan. Taylor over the top.
Well, maybe a tired swing from Matt Taylor. Doesn't quite get the connection he was looking for. But the ball set up nicely after his first touch. It's worth an effort.
Enjoyed their trip to Old Trafford in the FA Cup a couple of years back. I have some happy memories of that night, but what memories will the Oxford United supporters take away from the Kassam Stadium?
Well, they look the more nervous of the two sets of fans, don't they? The Oxford fans, understandably as well.
Dropped out of the Football League at the end of last season. Oxford looking set for a swift return when they began with an 18-game unbeaten run. Then they lost at Gravesend. Successful against Tamworth, but then had a disastrous sequence of 11 games without a win. Also went out of the FA Trophy. Duffy doing the holding.
I don't think you can argue with this one, Rob Duffy. Just trying to lay the ball off to Odubedi, trying to take it in his stride. It doesn't work. And we see a holding by Duffy.
Duffy has squandered a chance to put the game beyond Exeter's reach. It's come out to Challoner. And leaned on by Johnson.
Well, I think he's going to get a little bit of good fortune here, John Challoner. As the ball that was clear was spinning towards him. It was a shot by Mackie that spun up in the air. And we see the shot spinning towards Challoner. Does he take that on first time? Tries to take a touch with a spinning ball, difficult to bring under control. I mean, Johnson just stands his ground.
James Mackie's effort got the first hit and hope we've seen since the start of extra time. Oxford now getting plenty of encouragement from their supporters. Zabrowski. Zabrowski. Then by Johnson. Here's Hargreaves. Odubedi with a shot which struck Jones on the arm. Odubedi again. He's gone down under the challenge here from Edwards.
Well, I think the free kick's been given just a yard outside the box. Odubedi falls into the penalty area. Oh, a good line here for the linesman to look at. He's shaking his head. He's saying it's not a penalty. It's another one of those contentious issues. Was this a handball? Oh, I don't think you can give handball for that. I don't think that's intentional. His back was turned, but it's this one. It's a poor challenge. Doesn't quite get to the ball. Rob Edwards.
My initial impression was that was inside the penalty area. Andy Haynes, the referee, said it was outside. And there's a free kick here for Oxford United, right on the very edge. Burgess is poised.
That's a great chance, isn't it, for Oxford? This is right on the edge. You have to say, the referee's got to have had a good view of this free kick. I wouldn't mind betting that Andy Burgess just belts this goalwards.
It is Burgess. The ball did its job.
Well, he did. He went for the big one, didn't he, Andy Burgess? Deflected away by a good, strong wall. Comes off the back of Rob Edwards. Here's the free kick we saw. Well, it's on the line. I think if it's on the line, Tony, that's a penalty for me.
A couple of big decisions in this game for David Belbin, the assistant on this near side.
Oh, he's in a perfect position to make that decision.
And by Burgess. Hargreaves up. United's gone to Gilchrist. Johnson. Time for Oxford to do the pressing now. They're making a late rally. Five minutes of extra time left. In again by Johnson. Hargreaves pushed further forward. Another big shot for a handball. Chris Todd was the Exeter City defender who was involved then. Day with a shot which has taken a deflection.
Well, it's a good argument for handball this time. I think the hand was high in the air. If you raise your hands and the ball strikes it, it's a penalty. Here we see Hargreaves causing a problem. There we see that first hander by Todd. The referee suggested no contact there, but good pressure by Oxford United.
Driven in by Burgess. Headed away by Logan. Here's Pettifer. Burgess again, neatly done. And he's been caught there by Logan.
That's a bad challenge by Logan. Richard Logan, he doesn't need to go to ground. Just go there and stand up. Problem for Andy Burgess. Oh, I think this is a poor challenge. Oh, that's a strange one. I think the referees looked at Burgess and the state of his injury. Oh, either it's a yellow card or it's not. I don't think the referee was actually looking at it when the tackle came in.
Yellow card for Richard Logan. Exeter have conceded a free kick in what is a promising position for Oxford United.
And we see the challenge again. Well, it's clumsy, isn't it, by Richard Logan? Centre forward trying to make a challenge, trying to help out and do some defending.
Burgess still down. He will be expected to take this free kick. He's already thumped one into the defensive wall, which was placed ahead of Martin Rice, the goalkeeper, following that challenge on Yemi Odebede, which was right on the very edge of the penalty area. It might have been a penalty. Exeter aggrieved early on when Lee Phillips had a good goal ruled out. Taken by Johnson. Pettifer.
There's another free kick for Oxford United, and continuing with this pressure. Stansfield trying to get to the ball first. I think he's a little bit unlucky to give away the free kick.
In again by Johnson. Winner's gone down. Duffy.
Not for me this time. Not Duffy. I think he's gone down behind Rob Edwards. Here we see it again. Yeah, he's gone down much too easily for me. Edwards just trying to stand his ground.
He's trying to compose himself. There's just a little bit of respite for Exeter City here. They've been under a little bit of pressure now. Jim Smith with a few notes in his hand. I wonder if it's his list of penalty takers. I should have half expected penalties for the 8 previous playoff semi-finals have gone to a penalty shootout. Stansfield hobbling along. I wonder if there'll be any fit state to take a penalty should it come to that. Adam Stansfield, who got the goal which made it 2-1 to Exeter on the night and 2-2 on aggregate.
Sometimes it's not the players you expect to take penalties who step up to the plate and do that. It's all about confidence and ability.
We're just coming across to have words with both Mackie and Duffy. Logan also getting involved unnecessarily, having just been yellow carded. He needs to be careful, even though we are in the final minute of extra time. They all need to keep cool heads now. They need to keep cool heads and they need to keep their nerve. Burgess. Now Johnson. Is it to be now or never for Oxford United? Are we to get a winner in extra time? In towards Hargreaves. It's come out to Zabrowski. Chandler was back there to make sure that there was no threat. And that was zipped in by Burgess. That would have been some finish in every respect.
What a strike. Connects so well with the ball here, doesn't he, Andy Burgess? And again, it's all about taking a pot shot and a little bit of luck you need. Goes for the drive towards goal, and what a finish that would have been if that had gone in that top corner.
1 extra minute we're to have. Those Oxford United supporters are already preparing for penalties. Some of them, you suspect, won't be able to look.
Well, I think if you thought he was nervous going into extra time, Tony, I think we could see the fans will be nervous, knowing that the lottery of penalties is to come, and it could go either way. Maybe this is a last chance for Exeter City now to pump the ball into the Oxford box.
Everybody forward. Todd is going forward. Stansfield ready to make a late run across the penalty area. In by Jones. In by Logan. So that is it. Oxford and Exeter 2-2 on aggregate after extra time. There's nothing more that Tisdale or Smith can do. It's penalties next. Join us again after the break.
Man ought to do what he thinks is best.
If the Duke was riding with us today, he'd be 100 this very month.
Well, I'll be damned.
And to celebrate, starting next week every night at 9 for 2 weeks, we've one of his classics.
That's wonderful.
Think you can make it, Pilgrim?
Fighter, lover, legend.
Tempting.
A date with the Duke.
This is your chance of a lifetime.
100 Years of Wayne, every night at 9 for 2 weeks, starting this Sunday on Sky Movies Classics.
If you ever lose your house keys, Norwich Union Direct will automatically pay to get your locks changed. We'll also cover your windows against accidental damage as standard. And if you join us, we guarantee to beat your buildings and contents renewal premium or give you £60 cash back. Contact us and see how we can make you happy.
With Thompson, you can book your whole holiday. And now you can also book just the bits that suit you. Just a flight, just a hotel, car hire, villa, even a spa. And once you arrive, our 24/7 helpline means we can be there for you all the time, only when you need us, or not at all. It's your call. Book online, on the high street or on the phone. Thompson.co.uk. Don't just travel, travel with a smile.
Tetley Extra Strong. For those who like their tea with a bit of muscle.
It's your tea, love. Tetley tea.
With 15% off all petrol mowers at B&Q, he's got the pitch ready for the cup final at the new stadium. Oh, what a save!
Moving house is an expensive business. Only Abbey offers movers great new mortgages with no upfront costs. No valuation, booking or even legal fees. And you could still get one of Abbey's great mortgage deals. Moving home or moving your mortgage. No upfront fees, great rates. Call 0800 80 80 80 or visit your local branch. Abbey, more ideas for your money.
We're going all the way in this playoff semi-final. What a prize it is. Wembley, where Morecambe await them in the conference playoff final. John Still, the Dagenham boss, is alongside me. Glad you're straight up, aren't you, watching this?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been very entertaining from both teams. And I'm disappointed that it's come to this, but as a supporter, it's very, very exciting.
It certainly is. It's nail-biting is what it is. It is the lottery of penalties for a place in the conference playoff final. Like Walker and Tony Jones.
Here we go then. I have to say that Paul Tisdale is probably the calmest man inside the Kassam Stadium at the moment. Jim Smith there just confirming who his nominated penalty takers are. Incredible first season for Paul Tisdale. He took over from Alex Inglethorpe as manager of Exeter City, just trying to relax his players now, Clive. Perhaps sensing that whatever happens, he's had a terrific effort from his team this evening.
Well, he has. I think both managers can say their teams have given 150%, if you like, and they've given everything for their team today. And as John says, it's disappointing that it's come to a lottery of penalties, but if this is the only way we can decide the fixture, then it has to be. And both managers have done everything. They've done everything prior to the kick-off. They've done everything at half-time and at 90 minutes. There's nothing else they can do. They can perhaps try and relax their players, but they know when they step up to take the penalty, it's all about having that confidence and the bottle to actually take it.
Martin Rice, the Exeter City goalkeeper, beaten by Yemi Odebede. Oxford at that stage 2-0 up on aggregate. Exeter hitting back through Lee Phillips, and then they squeezed a goal out of Adam Stansfield, who'd come on as a substitute. Exeter 2-1 winners on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. And now we have to endure the agonies of a penalty shootout to decide who will play Morecambe in the conference playoff final at Wembley.
Well, as always, it's penalty shootouts nearly always about the goalkeepers, Tony. Do they make the right decision? Do they go the right way? When they go the right way, can they get something on the ball? All ifs, buts and maybes. Has the goalkeeper done his homework prior to the game? All these things will be going through their minds at this moment in time, and can they make themselves a hero?
Heroes and villains. It's down to a penalty shootout. And the penalties have been taken at the end where the Oxford United supporters are gathered.
Well, shall I tell you what the worst thing is for me, Tony, is the walk. It's the walk from the halfway line up to the penalty area and onto that penalty spot. It's thinking about it all the way. Can you be single-minded? Are you going to change the way that you would normally take your penalties? Well, I suggest you go the way you normally would, the confident way.
It's Rob Duffy who has stepped forward first for Oxford United. Duffy, who had a chance to put the game beyond Exeter's reach, but he was denied by Martin Rice then. Big moment. The first penalty of this shootout. Perfectly placed. It's advantage to Oxford United.
Well, it's just what you need, isn't it? First one to go into the back of the net. Puts the advantage Oxford's way. It's a good finish by Rob Duffy. Sending Martin Rice the wrong way. Simple, calm, perfect penalty.
Up steps Billy Jones. Scored 4 penalties in the conference season. Missed against his former club Kidderminster Harriers in a 1-1 draw back in November. Billy Turley, the Oxford United goalkeeper, who says that he relishes these exchanges. Jones normally hits them, and he's hit the post this time. Went for precision rather than power, and Exeter have missed their first attempt.
Well, a disappointment for Billy Jones. He's gone a bit quick at the ball, but he's sent Billy Turley the wrong way. He's missed the target. And a disappointment there to see.
Jones distraught. Andy Burgess to step forward now. He scored on New Year's Day when Oxford United lost against Exeter City. He's found the net again this time. It's 2-0 now to Oxford.
Well, they've got up to a flyer, haven't they, in the penalties, and important that Andy Burgess puts this one in after Exeter had missed their penalty. And he buries it with aplomb. It's a terrific strike. No chance for the goalkeeper at all. Lots of pressure on. Exeter now to stay in this penalty shootout.
And they have stayed in this shootout. It's Matt Gill.
Well, he's given his chance aside to hang on in there. I'm expecting the goalkeepers to make at least one save out of 10, Tony. We haven't seen one yet from the goalkeepers. Can Martin Rice make one here and bring it back to level?
Gavin Johnson, 18 years a professional. Bags of experience, but the nerves can be frayed. And Johnson has just squeezed it in. Rice managed to get a hand to that. And the smile betrays the relief perhaps that Gavin Johnson is feeling.
It was heart in mouth time, wasn't it? Rice goes the right way. Doesn't get enough on the ball. It's a clean strike by Gavin Johnson. And the good fortune goes the way of Oxford.
(3-1) then to Oxford United. It's Taylor who put through his own goal on Friday. And he's found the right net now.
Well, it just keeps the pressure on, doesn't it, for Exeter City, just hanging on in there with that one miss. Taylor this time sending the goalkeeper the wrong way.
Barry Quinn steps forward for Oxford. Oxford's player of the year. And this time Rice has made the save. It's in the balance again.
Well, there was due a save, weren't we, from the goalkeepers. Well, how important it is now for Exeter City to strike back to level.
This then to level it at 3-3. Jamie Mackie, 21 years of age. His last goal in the regular season was against Oxford United. And he squeezed that beyond Billy Turley's reach. What a lift that has given Exeter City now.
Oh, again, you talk about scoring after the other team missed. That's an important penalty for Jamie Mackie. Brings his side level for all. I know there'll be one or two nerves for both sides now if it goes to 5-5. It's people who don't want to take penalties will have to step up.
Billy Turley said that he wasn't afraid to take a penalty. And he has stepped forward to try and give the advantage back to Oxford United. Turley, who's hit the post, was overconfident. And now he really has got to save his team.
Well, it's a strange approach, wasn't it, by Billy Turley to the ball. Very relaxed, even over-relaxed. He tries to side-foot it in the corner. Well, he's missed it, hasn't he? Inside of the post. There's a chance now for Richard Logan to take this tie, take Exeter to Wembley.
Richard Logan then. Billy Turley, having hit the post, has to stop this one. Logan, who scored for Lincoln in the league against Oxford last season, has been denied by Turley.
Well, he's made up for it, Billy Turley, hasn't he? What a terrific save. Guesses right. Not enough power on the shot to beat him. And it's a decent save down to his right-hand side. And the Exeter players hold their heads as the Oxford players celebrate. As I said, it's the players who didn't want to take penalties now. Lots of nerves, I should think.
Oxford have missed their last 2 penalties. Quinn and the goalkeeper Turley. Exeter follows, praying. They can't bear to watch. Chris Zabrowski looks cool enough, and here's hit the post.
Well, he hangs his head in Chris Zabrowski. It's so difficult, the pressure's immense. And we've had the post struck yet again. A chance again for Exeter with Tully.
The pendulum has swung the other way. Steve Tully. They're watching through their fingers, and Tully has taken Exeter City to Wembley. Steve Tully, who was signed by Exeter from Weymouth in January, has scored the decisive penalty. Being such a dramatic night here at the Kassam Stadium. Paul Tisdale, in his first season as manager of Exeter City, has seen his team win this dramatic penalty shootout. They are through to face Morecambe at Wembley. The big prize, though, is a place in the Football League. And yet again, in a playoff, Jim Smith's team has finished on the losing side. Real dismay for Oxford United and their followers. The team who everyone expected to bounce straight back into the Football League. They fell out of the Football League on the last day of last season. And now, in overtime in this conference season, the team who were the runaway leaders of the conference have missed out in a penalty shootout. It's Exeter City who are on their way to the new Wembley, their first ever visit to Wembley, either new or old.
Well, you'd have to say they're probably on the balance of play tonight. They've deserved it after coming to the game a goal down at Exeter City and then losing a goal in the early part of the game, being 2-0 down on aggregate. They've battled back so well, Exeter City. Thoroughly deserved to take it into extra time, and well, with the lottery of penalties, they've ridden their luck. The goalkeeper's made an important save for them in the middle of that penalty shootout. And now it's their turn to celebrate.
Well, they can't believe it. Their team scored with their first 3 penalties. Duffy, Burgess and Johnson. Then Quinn, Turley and Zabrowski all missed. Exeter did it the hard way. They missed their first penalty, but Steve Tully kept his nerve when it mattered most. And Exeter are on their way to Wembley. Oxford United are on their way to their holidays. What a contrast in emotions. Exeter City then. The manager will know that the job is only half done. They're on their way to Wembley, but they want to get back to the Football League.
Well, the one thing they can do, of course, is celebrate this evening. As you say, Tony, there's still some work to be done, but take nothing away from the players this evening. They've worked their socks off. The manager's played his part in making the substitutions, changing formations and trying desperately to get back into the game. You can always look back at ifs, buts and maybes, and these things are said to test players and test managers and coaches alike. And I'm sure they will celebrate well into the night today, Exeter City.
They can celebrate tonight. They know that the hard work starts again tomorrow. They'll be analysing what Morecambe did in their semi-final against York City. A 2-1 success for Morecambe. Yes,